Welcome to this week's edition of Cover 4, our post-game recap of UNC versus Delaware. The Tar Heels won today 41-14 in a sloppy, rain-covered stadium. The game didn't start off the way the Tar Heels wanted to, but ended up with the win over Delaware heading into ACC play down at Georgia Tech next week. This big story from the game was Mitch Trubisky, who came in for Marquise Williams after Williams went 6 for 12, had a rushing TD, but the offense was not going, so they made a switch at quarterback, and Trubisky went 17 to 20 for 312 yards, but 4 straight touchdowns on 4 straight possessions to kind of take their offense by the reins, and really has stirred up a quarterback controversy in Chapel Hill. Larry Fedora is going to have to address who's going to be starting next week, and the way Trubisky performed today, it's kind of hard to put him back on the sidelines. But one game doesn't make or break a player, and Marquise has had a season where he earned the starting job. So it'll be interesting how the Tar Heels play that out going forward. What really impressed me about Trubisky was how he threw the ball in the rain. I mean, every pass had zip on it. He hit receivers in stride. One thing we talked about before the season even started was, could Marquise Williams improve where on the screen plays and the timing patterns, could he get the ball in space to the play makers in stride for them to gain ground after the possession of the ball? And Trubisky did a great job with that, leading receivers and just look in total command of the offense, and it's going to be interesting moving forward to see how Trubisky does. With Georgia Tech on the road, the defense, although it gave up 14 points, you still have to be concerned that we gave up 279 yards rushing to Delaware, including the big 72-yard run from Thomas Jefferson. But that's the key to beating Georgia Tech. Is the Tar Heels did not look good, specifically on first down. A lot of drives, giving up 4 and 5 yards. So against Georgia Tech, you got to get them behind the chains. You got to get them second and third in long situations because they're not a very good passing team, as they showed today, losing for the second time in a row against Duke down in Wallace Wade Stadium. The Tar Heels rushing game got close to 200 yards, but they never could really break loose. The longest run on the day was by the quarterback, Marquise Williams, for 22 yards. Elijah Hood was solid on the ground, not letting the first guy bring him down. Just couldn't spring the big play. But the ground game is looking better each week. It's just a matter of time to see more explosive plays with the Tar Heel running game. It was nice to see Mac Hollins get back in the scoring loop. Catching a couple touchdown passes, including that long bomb from Mitch Trubisky. Hollins has been kind of quiet over the last few weeks and was a big player for Carolina in the past. Got to give a shout out to Bug Howard, who called out the fan base for not showing up, and they really didn't today in the rain. Kind of hard to blame them with the way that they played in the first half, but in the second half, it was well worth sitting in the stands. But Bug, went on Twitter talking about the football team. If the basketball team showed up at halftime, we'd have a packed stadium. That's just kind of how it's been for North Carolina over the years. History's kind of going against them with that. So they just got to keep playing, and hopefully the next few weeks you'll see more fans in the stands as we hit the ACC season coming through. But Bug had a big day in the receiving game. Really liked what they're doing, spreading the ball around. We had 23 receptions for close to 400 yards today. Howard had 3 and so did Quinshaw and Ryan Davis. But distributing the ball all over the place is really good to see from our quarterback. Trubisky looked good reading the defense and settling down for his second and third option throughout the afternoon. And once he got kind of rolling, the game got put out of reach, and where it was pretty tense earlier in the game. I think moving forward with Tech on the horizon, Delaware rushing for as many yards as they did is really concerning, especially considering they didn't have a passing threat. Their quarterback threw for 24 yards on the day, and threw a pick to Schottmer. I mean, that just it looked awful. It was one of those things where you couldn't believe he even threw the pass. But for a team that has a rushing attack, they can go with a play action passing game. I think that's going to give the Tar Heels problems if we can't fix it up front where we're stopping teams on the run, especially first down. Giving up as many yards as we did on the ground today just is not does not bode well for the future, especially moving into ACC play with Pitt and Virginia Tech and Miami, and some of them will just like to line it up and go right at you. Tar Heels have to do definitely a better job. But on the back end, our DBs are playing really well, and it's really hard to find lanes to throw through on the back end. Next week, the Tar Heels travel down to Georgia Tech, as we stated in our post-game recap. Trubisky had a great game today in relief of Marquise Williams, and that storyline will be interesting to see how it plays out the next week. Tune in next week as we preview Georgia Tech with another edition of Cover 4.